Welcome to the Transportation Sales Tax Program. You notice that we've moved here at Comcast, and we hope that you'll be with us every week on programs all about the transportation sales tax and how it's being spent in this community. As a matter of fact, today we are one of those dedications, one of the major projects, they're called bonded projects, where a road that most of you probably travel quite often, and that's Johnny Dodds, has been dedicated. There were a lot of people here, the mayor, the county council chairman, most members of the town of Mount Pleasant City Council, a lot of people who came out to celebrate, and we're going to be talking with some of those people as soon as we come back. We'll be right back.
Hey, Charleston County, let's recycle. Charleston County makes it easy. Recycling glass, aluminum cans, steel and aerosol cans, plastics 1 to 7. We recycle them all. And don't forget paper. If it tears, recycle it. Even cardboard. Recycle at work, at home, and at play. So whether you're using the 2 curbside bin system and separating or the all-in-one roll cart system, keep recycling. Brought to you by Charleston County Environmental Management.
Welcome back to the Transportation Sales Tax Program. We promise you we've got a lot on this project today, the dedication of Johnny Dodds. A lot of family members were here, and we want you to hear from some of those people, some of the dignitaries who attended this great event, the finishing or the completion of the Johnny Dodds project. Listen to some of them as they talk during the ceremony.
The project we are here for is special, not only in this area, but for all residents of Charleston County. The reason is because it is funded by the Charleston County Transportation Sales Tax and was approved by the voters in the first Transportation Sales Tax bond referendum in November of 2004. That's significant because the town of Mount Pleasant requested it to be on the ballot, and the people of Charleston County supported this project with their votes. Citizen support for this endeavor also shows us that you are willing to sacrifice some convenience in the short term in order to make these important improvements for your community in the long term. Just a few of the highlights of the projects are the widening of Johnny Dodds Boulevard from 2 lanes to 3 lanes in both north and south directions, construction of a diamond-shaped interchange with a new overpass so drivers of Johnny Dodds can cross over Bowman Road, and construction of a replacement overpass on Bowman Road over the Shem Creek, including roadway and drainage improvements. The bridge is approximately 90 feet long and 80 feet wide and includes sidewalks on both sides. Again, these are just a few of the major points of this extensive project, as the Johnny Dodds Boulevard project is the largest project on our list of major improvements funded by the Transportation Sales Tax. Finishing it early is also a huge accomplishment. I would like to thank the county's transportation development team, Jim Armstrong, as well as Steve Thinkpan, most notably for their superb management throughout this construction process. The project clearly demonstrates joint cooperation between Charleston County government, the town of Mount Pleasant, and the South Carolina Transportation Department, and especially the businesses and all residents living along and traveling through the construction area. Finally, we thank all the citizens of Charleston County for their support of this transportation sales tax. Today's project is a shining example of good use of the public funds and a great success as we move forward with even more improvements to the area's transportation system.
And we got some other projects that we're going to celebrate pretty soon. One of them's going to be named after a representative. We did not do that. The House of Representatives, the Senate did it. The Hungry Neck Overpass, pretty soon we'll do that, but that's a different project. But Charleston County Council, we thank you very much. We're lucky enough to have 3 members that represent the town of Mount Pleasant, and they work very hard for us every day. They're always available. Elliot may be late, but he'll be there. Herb and Teddy will be on time, and they'll be there too, so we appreciate that. You know, and we thank y'all so much, and we appreciate it. And when we finish these frontage roads, folks, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing named after a gentleman that I consider my mentor, Johnny Dodds. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
If it wasn't for Mayor Holman, all those years ago working with the mayor of North Charleston and the mayor of Charleston, none of this would be a reality. The half-cent sales tax wouldn't be a reality if it wasn't for Harry Hallman, and your family needs to know that his legacy will continue on as long as we continue building projects not only here in Mount Pleasant, but all over Charleston County. And we owe you and Harry a debt of gratitude, and thank y'all for the sacrifices of time that he was away from y'all to do good work for our county, and I thank you for that. When Harry and Dad and Mayor Riley first envisioned the half-cent sales tax, it was just for these sorts of things. It was about moving traffic and creating a better, safe environment for the folks who live in Charleston County, but also visit Charleston County could have. We're very fortunate. This is your half-cent sales tax at work. These are the very, very positive things that we're doing with tax dollars. $580 million is what the half-cent sales tax is going to place on the South Carolina state-owned roads here in Charleston County. It was the first half-cent sales tax program in South Carolina, and I think it's by far the most successful. And because of that, it's only because of that that our good administrator, Kurt Taylor, Jim Armstrong, and Steve Thigpen, it's the folks at county staff that do all the work. We get to come up here and take all the credit, but Herb and Teddy and I will all tell you, if it wasn't for those three gentlemen, we'd still be out here watching bulldozers and watching asphalt being put on the ground. I'd also be remiss if we didn't mention Banks United, Trey Banks and the Banks family, Reed. They're a Charleston family, and it's always good to see hometown boys doing good work for our community, and we really appreciate them as well. We've got more great things to come with the half-cent sales tax. We've opened Palmetto Commerce Parkway, which has been a wild success for economic development. Now Johnny Dodds Boulevard, and hopefully as time goes on, we'll continue to do the right thing for our folks here in Charleston County.
This is a great day for the town of Mount Pleasant and for Charleston County. Thank you for allowing me the chance to add my half-cent to this. Johnny Dodds is proof of what can be accomplished when we work together. Citizens, planning, review, cost, build, making necessary tweaks as we go. To those who turned out in our meetings and participated in the ideas, the design, and review that was necessary to get this project moving forward, I thank you. Your help gave us improved turning lanes, frontage roads, improved stoplight locations, and bike lanes. These are direct results of your public citizen participation. As Mayor Swales mentioned, one of the tweaks we did was McGrath-Darby, and that tweak was only made possible by everybody being willing to work together. And we listened to our businesses, we listened to our citizens, and we got it done. And that worked out as well as we could hope. There were other bumps and complaints along the way, but the staff and the contractors kept the traffic moving and did a great job. Special thanks should be given for the staff and the workers who worked night and day. These include Jim Armstrong, Brad Morrison, Steve Thigpen, especially Ed Barbie, and many, many others. Thank y'all so much. But most thanks should go to the merchants and citizens who endured the orange cones every day. They've been patient and supportive. It's been pleasant to see the cones become fewer in number every day. Every day we're seeing less and less cones, and we're moving faster and faster. What is that speed limit now?
Jenny, you should know, 45.
Yeah, we should know, 45. But most of all, thanks to the citizens of Charleston County who pay the half-cent sales tax, which made this transportation sales tax program possible. I say, this is your road, you built it.
I think maybe I could throw a couple of kudos out, but primarily I would again thank the citizens of Charleston County for stepping up to the plate. I was appointed, I've been at the DOT off and on for about 15 to 16 years. I was appointed by 4 different governors as either commission chairman or secretary. And the first job I got in '93 was Campbell said, we got $3 billion worth of needs and no money. So that's when we created the state infrastructure bank idea, and the idea of design build to hold down costs, and the idea of bonding, because you get the project now and then you get to pay for it over a period of time as the economy grows, and it's the impact and expense is much less. So this is kind of for the media to help you understand what we're doing here. Of all the counties that have put in in most cases it's a 1-cent sales tax, but Charleston County is so big that they produce $1 billion of revenue, and that's matched with the state money. So it's a kind of an incentive program to get local buy-in. Anybody will take a road if the state will pay or the federal government will pay 100%. But when you have to put your own skin in the game, it changes things a little bit. So the successful projects all over the state, in York and Richland just passed it this time, but Beaufort, Myrtle Beach, and all of these places have been where the local leadership is working with the state. And so we have a great team in Charleston County. They've been very astute about putting their packages together and getting the jobs done. And so you see the visual success that we achieved today. So that is the theory behind it. And you just saw the story the other day about $30 billion in needs over 20 years. Well, we're not going to wait 20 years to improve the quality of life for our citizens in Mount Pleasant and Charleston County. We're doing it ourselves with our own money, and of course when you put up your own money, you're able to leverage that and use some state dollars too. So that's how that all came about, but it's in no small part to the vision and the leadership of the mayors that have gone before, and Mayor Swales and Chairman Pryor and their council. So thank you all for coming out today, and thank you for being a part of this success story about how government really can work for the people. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Representative Chip Limehouse. I'm a member of the State Infrastructure Bank, but the most noteworthy part of this entire project is there is no infrastructure bank money in this project. So I am here today to take my hat off to Mayor Swales and Town Council, the excellent Town Council, for the job they've done. I always say the good Lord helps those who help themselves, and Mount Pleasant Town Council and their mayor is doing the job, not asking the state for a penny. And likewise, with Teddy Pryor, my good friend, and this excellent county council we have, they did not ask the state for a dime. They just built the project, and that's the way government should work for the people. Now, if you go down the road, there are a lot of projects with infrastructure bank money in it, and there will be a lot more. But I want to thank these two groups of leaders, because that's what they are, as leaders, solving problems, getting the job done. You see in Washington today, we're in gridlock, but you see here in Mount Pleasant today how seamlessly and smooth this works. We have a long tradition of getting things done, and Mayor Dodge started it. Mayor Hallman, my good friend who I worked with for years in the legislature, he and I, we wrote the infrastructure bank language together. And you see the results of everybody here on these two teams working together today. And this is a group that works together. So my message today is keep electing these folks you see sitting on the podium, because they are getting the job done.
County Councilman, how do you feel today about this project being completed and all the other projects that surround it? It's a tremendous job that's been done here.
Yes, we are so happy and excited, and thanks to you and your show that puts this out, every week about the great projects that are going in Charleston County. I mean, this is a major and a huge milestone right here for us. Mayor Swales and the town of Mount Pleasant, along with our roadwise staff and the county staff, has worked together over the last couple of years. So now we're open. They're ready for business, and you will see, different traffic pattern. And again, thanks to you and, what you do for us as far as, getting the word and the news out, that means a whole lot.
I've heard that, in fact, this was transportation sales tax money. What has that meant? The county didn't depend on anyone except the citizens.
And the citizens stepped up. It was great. And as always, we are the closest to the people. The government is the closest to the people, should work for the people. And we're not caught up in all this, like in Washington, D.C. We're here to work for the people. And so if you can see your money is being spent well, and I think folks doesn't mind spending money, when it's spent well, or paying when it's spent well. It's when you take the taxpayers' dollars and don't do anything. Unlike Washington, D.C., we here locally, we collect the funds. We do what we say we're going to do, because it's going to be another time you're going to have to come back and ask these these folks, you know, hey, they do what is right, and you lead by example, and what you do speaks tremendously when you come back to ask people in the future.
What's next on the agenda?
Well, it's a whole lot. You know, right now 526 is a major hot button issue. I hope by this Thursday we'll have that, you know, moving in the right direction. You know, I've always been a proponent of doing 526 in the completion, and you know, that's a major milestone. That will be another major milestone. But hope it'll open on my birthday, because every year in December the 9th we always have a grand opening of something. So next year I hope it's something else. I hope it's good news.
Happy birthday, sir, and thank you.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you. Mayor Swales, one of the things that was kind of confusing, I think, to some of us in the public was that we have a number of projects going on all at the same time. This one you dedicated today, you've dedicated several others. There are others that haven't really reached their peak yet. What's the idea behind doing this kind of approach at this time?
Well, I can't speak of all the projects, but I can speak of ours. If you do them together, it saves a lot of time and a lot of money. And we combined our projects to do this, and to have cent sales tax allowed us to get this one done on time and under budget. So we can't thank Charleston County Council enough for what they've done, and the staff of Charleston County Council of the county really ran these projects, and that's Steve Thigpen, Jim Armstrong, all the engineers involved, HDR, the construction engineer and inspection. Everybody worked together to accomplish what we've got done here today.
Many of these roads are owned by the state of South Carolina. What's going on there, and why aren't they participating to a large degree with finances?
Well, they don't have any money, and our citizens were wise enough, by the leadership of Harry Hallman, Keith Summey, Joe Riley, Chamber of Commerce, that said, hey, you need to put skin in the game. We have. We put almost $1 billion in road projects and things like that, and we're seeing what it can happen. When we go to Columbia now to talk, whether it's to legislators or the State Infrastructure Bank, the first thing they say is, you have a program, and that's what's so important. We have a program in place, as you well know, that we put our money where our mouth is.
So projects like this really put us in a better spot when we go to the state legislators.
It's act like when you go to your daddy and you say you need 5, and he says, well, I only got 250, but you already have 250. It works out better for you.
Where are you going from here? I heard you mention the dedication of several other projects.
Well, we have the widening of 17 North, which we've done from Isle of Palms connected to Darrell Creek, and the overpass at Hungry Neck Boulevard. That's the state infrastructure project, $56 million. And then the other one, it was $30 million. So you're looking at, with this complete and the rest of them be complete by next June, you're looking at $200 million in the town of Mount Pleasant.
There are a number of sound barriers along the way, and many of us who live in neighborhoods just love it. Who brought on that idea, and why are we doing that, besides we want to distract the sound from the neighborhood?
Well, it's a good idea, and that idea came from the Federal Highway Administration. Said you will do that. You will run a test, and the ones that need it, and that's the ones you see. Not every neighborhood needs it, but those particular ones did. You notice we did the one by Sneed Farm first because they were closer to the road, the actual road construction, and where the laydown was. So we did that for our citizens.
We noticed that there are a lot of sidewalks in the area, and to me that means connectivity.
It means connectivity. It means you can go out here, you can ride your bike on these frontage roads. Cheryl, everybody talks about the roads, but look at the frontage roads on this project. You know, it's nicer. We have a sidewalk, we have a bike lane, and it's just going to be free moving. The redevelopment's going to be wonderful once we get things started.
What does this mean for the future of Mount Pleasant?
It means the town of Mount Pleasant will not be stagnant. It will continue to grow, hopefully at a smaller pace than it has in the last 10 years. But a lot of people want to come here. We have excellent schools. We now have excellent roads. We have excellent government. So people continue to come, and we're not going to stop them from coming, but it's easier for them to get by now.
There's a lot of buildup on the